All right, guys, it's been a minute since I've done one of these, but I'm here at Tampa International Airport getting ready to fly to Reagan and D.C. Coach's vlog, because I've got 8 competitors competing on Friday at the Ben Weider Natural, and I've got 8 competitors competing on Saturday at the Atlantic Coast Championships. Why is that special? I'm going to both shows. I'm flying from D.C. to Fort Lauderdale early Saturday morning. It's Wednesday now and I'm headed to DC. So we got some awesome competitors. I'm gonna try to capture some of the footage. I do these mostly for myself because I love looking back at these videos. I've been doing these for over a decade now, and kind of like a little journal of life. So yeah, we've got some awesome competitors competing this weekend, and I'll document as much of it as I can, get some stage footage, get some backstage footage, off stage, wins or losses, whatever happens. I'm already so proud of these amazing competitors, and now we just get to go celebrate, and now I get to go through security. Whee! Alright guys, so I didn't do a good job filming yesterday. Flew into DC, got to the Airbnb. Now it is Thursday morning, one day out from the DC show. A bunch of the girls are meeting in the parking lot. I haven't even met some of them yet, so I'm gonna go say hi. I'll get some training footage. Alright, so we're at DMV Iron one day before the Ben Weider, and we got Lawna Dunbar, who's not competing, right?
No, I don't think so.
And then Lawna won the overall at the Sacramento Championship.
Yep.
See the abs?
Oh, on the treadmill?
Well, guys, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. This happened about 2 weeks ago, but this is us at DMV Iron. Daraja actually came on the trip just to support Gary Udit in his Ben Weider Natural show, and to support our good friend Denitra, who is competing on the pro stage. This is Denitra Blackshear right here. Also has a fantastic YouTube channel. I'll try to put it in the description box, but she talks about all things bikini prep, bikini life. She's just a badass. And we competed earlier in the year and got our butt kicked a little bit. So we took some time off and came back, and she's looking phenomenal. So we were really excited about her getting on the stage. This is a drug-free show. So this is the Ben Weider Naturals. So we had some amateurs competing, meaning they have not earned their pro status yet, like this one, Lawna, who just won the overall at the Sacramento Pro Show. And then we have some professionals competing, like this one right here. This is Denitra. So the nice thing was we had I think we had 4 amateurs and 4 different pros. So just a good experience as a coach when you can be there for a lot of your competitors at the same show. And I like to put my competitors who are in the NPC trying to get pro status in shows where there are pros. And this is Josephine Holmberg's first show where I got to be there. And the reason I like to do that is because the judges that are judging your amateurs are also judging the pros. So they uphold a very high standard for them. And it lets you know if you're going to be ready to take the next step. Now, this show did offer a unique perspective because the overall winner got a pro card. So this was Lawna, who after winning the overall at a very large show in Sacramento, and was already planning on doing NPC Nationals, we thought we'd take a shot at this show and see if she could earn her pro card. Now, there's only one pro card, the overall winner. So we weren't putting all our eggs in one basket, but I was very confident. Lawna she's somewhere in that 5'5", 5'6" range, and she's on stage almost 130 pounds. Lots of muscle. Glutes very full and round. Conditioning is amazing. In fact, she was eating over 300 carbs and dropping weight, so we were really making sure she was staying full. That's why we keep going through these poses. So this place at DMV Iron was very nice because they did have this opportunity to pose. And this is Josephine Holmberg, who I've worked with all year. She competed on the European circuit and got first place 2 or 3 times and was in an overall to get her pro card. So she's now residing in Los Angeles. So this was a unique opportunity for her to come do a show in the United States. Now, she's not a U.S. citizen. For U.S. citizens are only allowed to do the national shows. So this was one of her few opportunities to turn pro. So it was a really good opportunity for her to come to D.C. and see how she would do. And I thought she looked fantastic. So I knew she was going to be in the mix. I mean, she's just a very good competitor. I mean, her structure, conditioning, muscularity, all fantastic. And this is Denitra. We're working on her pro routine. And Denitra, it's funny watching these girls now. You really learn just how different the pros and amateurs are. The pros really it's hard to define when you're not there in person, but they own the stage. So I'm going to give you guys some feedback in person, and then we'll continue the commentary in just a second.
All right, so here we are.
Smell it everywhere.
This is the host hotel for the Ben Weider Natural Pro-Am. Going to check-ins. It's not a typical show for check-ins. Usually they separate the pros and the amateurs. I don't know who that guy is who's filming people. That's John. That's John.
Following these girls around.
So yeah, we'll see what it looks like. Oh, snowy. The only problem is it's backlit. I can't see anything. I just see silhouettes. Look at that. People say bodybuilding is boring.
No. Best day ever, coach.
Hey.
The key to bodybuilding, make your own damn food. Don't trust nobody. Yeah, the lighting's way better over here.
I got trust issues. I'm getting all the carbs today too.
And I love that there's a box of Golden Grams right there.
Gotta carb up. We got all the essentials. Caramel rice cakes, golden grams, deli meat.
That's it.
Can't go wrong.
Well, we're backstage at the Ben Weider Natural. It is Friday, November 19th. That's important because tomorrow we're going to be at a different show. But for today,
Well, we, as in you,
we as a
I will be
team.
home.
She don't see?
Well,
She's young, but she don't have the endurance to keep up with me.
We Team Pro Physique, we.
Yeah, we. So this is the backstage. Ben Weider's. The pros are going to start at 4, which is in about 5 minutes. They're going to do all the pro prejudging. Then they're going to do the amateur prejudging. Then they're going to get the awards started right away. So it's going to get fast now.
I kind of like that. It's just boom, 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 done.
And she's doing some awards today, hopefully for some of our girls, but we'll see.
I'll hold out just in case.
First up is Miss Rachel, pro figure. So I'm going to go do final check-ins and then go get some good seats.
So here we have Rachel Sedgwick, who is one of my oldest clients. And I don't mean old as in she's old because she's very young, but I mean we've been working together for 5 or 6 years. She turned pro back in 2017 at NPC Nationals, and she's a natural figure competitor. So we thought this would be a good opportunity to get on stage as a natural athlete and compete. She did move cross country from, well, not cross country, but from Seattle down to Texas recently. So I don't know, we didn't quite nail the crispy conditioning that we were after and is required for figure, because figure you're supposed to be a little bit sharper than bikini. But Rachel's also a coach for Pro Physique, and I was just really happy to spend time with her. She's just such an awesome person. So it was great to see her, even if the result was not what we were after. This is the pro bikini division. If you look on the board at the back there, it's kind of cool. It says pro women's bikini. Not every show does that. So if you're watching in the audience, you always know what's happening. This was first call-outs for pro bikini. The reason that's significant is because Denitra is there in the teal suit, which you saw her multiple times. She's never been in first call-outs before. This was her first time being in a first call-out, and she did get moved out of the middle. The young lady in the red there ends up winning the pro title, and deservedly so. She looked fantastic. But for Denitra, this was a big step forward. It was a big confidence builder. It was something we needed. We took time off after getting our butt kicked earlier in the year to come back better, and we got some great feedback. And to be right on the cusp of, getting that Olympia qualification with a couple shows to go, it's something we really needed. And I was really happy for her to see just how well she was going to do in that first call out. I was a little surprised that at least one of my other clients was not in the first call out. So as you can see here, they're moving the girls around, and I'll just continue. That was Callista Upperman in the green suit. Now, Callista, I believe she ended up second at this show. I wasn't familiar with the girls in the center. I think it's Sharika. I could be wrong, in the red suit. But they both obviously looked fantastic. Their conditioning was really good. Shape, structure, beauty, everything was there. I mean, this is pro bikini. There are no slouches in pro bikini. Especially in the first call-outs of a pro show. This is the creme de la creme of the sport, and the judges' decisions are very, very difficult. So, yeah, they ended up with with Callista taking second. Denitra ended up in the 4th position. So very proud of her, and we're still continuing to work. I mean, just look at her. She's stunning. This was second call-outs. So second call-outs there was 6 girls on the first call-out, so top 6. So this was 7 through 12, I believe. So second from right there in the teal suit, that is Shanika. Shanika has been with me for almost 2 years now. We got her pro card last year at Universe, and she's been moving up and up. She's been in the top 10 the last couple shows we did, Nashville and now here. She actually finished, I believe she finished 7th or 8th. I don't know if I looked at the final placings, but she just keeps getting better. A little more muscle on her, and we're going to be in a good spot. And in the red bikini in the dead center of second callouts, that's Tony. Tony Gaddis joined me maybe 8-10 weeks before the show, and we got to put some work in. And so there's a good sign. When you see both your clients in the middle of a call-out, they both ended up in the top 8, right? 7th and 8th. So, I was a little disappointed. I thought one or both of them could have been in that first call-out, but, that's how tough this sport is, and the judges had a tough decision to make. So, I was pleased because Tony told me that was the best she's ever looked on stage. And Shanika had a long season, and for her to be able to hold on to conditioning, to hold on to muscle, and the feedback we got from the head judge, which was Becky Clausen, was fantastic. We just need to continue refining and improving, and we can do that. These girls do not lack for effort, and with the strategy in place, they will be doing very well. Now, the cool thing about this show was after the pros competed, they had the NPC competitors compete right away. So these are the NPC girls backstage. These are all 4 of my girls. On the left is Annalie, then Snowy, then Lawna, then Josephine right here in the blue. I don't know if I got video of it, but there's a mirror here, and this mirror had a light all the way around it. Oh, yeah, I did film it. It's so cool. I wish they would have this at the backstage of all shows. Just check that thing out. There was like 3 or 4 of them. Just a nice touch. When you go to bodybuilding shows, and Gary Udit is one of the top promoters in the world, when you go to these bodybuilding shows, you just notice nice little touches like that. Like, they didn't have to do that. So here you can see NPC becoming women's bikini, Class B. Purple suit, left of center. That is Annalie Riesbeck. She's won 2 overalls with me. And right next to her in the red is Danica, a very good friend of mine. So, Annalie was in the middle. So we were thinking top 2, which is always what you want to see at a show like this. I did manage to get some of Lawna's routine. As I said, Lawna was someone coming into this show. We had expectations, not always the best thing to have, but with someone that is as such a good competitor, you set the bar high and you just see what happens. And she's always got such a good attitude, win or lose. So I was very excited. Her physique was really coming together perfectly. And like I said, the overall winner for the show does get a pro card. So this is the Class D. And so they're moving Lawna into the middle, and the other girl in the red suit, blonde hair, that's Snowy, my other client. So they moved her into the 3-4 position. And actually left of center, that is Meg, someone that I've seen on the NPC circuit for a few years now. Just stunning overall look and shape and everything. So you start to get to know a lot of these competitors. I've been going to NPC national shows since 2014, so 7 years of national shows. So you just start to recognize people. They become familiar. But, I at this point hadn't seen anybody that I thought could beat Lawna. But that doesn't really matter because guess what? I'm not judging. So I'm just, if anything, when I have expectations like this, it makes me perhaps a little bit more nervous. But, as someone who has spent a lot of time getting to know the judges to make sure that I understand what they're looking for, Becky Clausen is one of the top judges. I love top female judges because I feel they judge the women to a standard that is very similar to the way I coach them. Overall balance, they're looking for conditioning. They want to be lean and full, not too shredded, right? Which is, it's a tough line to walk because you want to be lean, but you don't want to be too shredded. This is Josephine Holmberg, who, just fantastic structure, fantastic shape, obviously stunningly beautiful. Nailed her tan. Conditioning was very good. Fullness was very good. My only issue with Josephine is I think over the course of this year, we've done a lot of shows. I think she's lost a little bit of muscle. She traveled all over Europe, then traveled to the United States, then worked in Texas for a month. So I just think it was time for us to take some time off after the show, and that's kind of the feedback we got. And this was Josephine in her class, and they do end up moving her to splitting center, which was a great sign. And if if you're looking at this objectively, you can see that some of the girls have a little bit more density in their shoulders, but Josephine makes up for a lot of that with her shape. I mean, look at the shape in her front pose. Look at the roundness to her glutes, shoulders matching. So she is a fantastic competitor, and it's just, as a coach, we work for sometimes years to bring this type of physique to the stage. And Josephine's someone that I'd never actually gotten to see in person. So I was just having a blast watching all these competitors compete and seeing them get out there. It's a lot of work to be on stage for 7 minutes. Depending on the size of your class, it might be less. But it's a sport that's grown to the point where these girls are very competitive. They're coming to the stage and they know what to bring. So you can't win a class at an NPC show without being just very, very finely refined. And this was Denitra getting her 4th place award in Pro Bikini, which I love that it's up on the board there, Women's Pro Bikini Finals. So right after the NPC prejudging, they did the Pro Awards, which was awesome. So the pros got to be done early. Denitra, again, grinning ear to ear. Then they went right into the NPC Awards, and you can't see it on the board there, but that is the, there it goes, NPC Class B. So there were 6 classes at this show, A, B, C, D, E, F. And, of course, Annalie was able to win Class B, and Taraja got to give her the award, the sword, the tiara. So that means we have one competitor going to the overall. This is the awards for Class D. Lawna wins. There's the sword, there's the tiara. Taraja wasn't out there to give her the award this time, but so there's 2 of the 5 competitors. Snowy placed top 5 as well in the Class D. And so really what I was hoping for after this was to see our next competitor that came out, which was Josephine, if she was going to win her class, because she was splitting middle. So, it was a toss-up. I thought the other girl had a little more muscle, but I thought Josephine had a little better conditioning, but didn't go our way for this one. And, sometimes that happens. And I know Josephine was disappointed. She came a long way to the show to try to fight for that overall. But, this is how you know if this sport is for you, because if you can take a hit, go home. Oh, look at Yayoi in the black dress is actually one of my clients who's a bikini pro as well. If you can take the hits in this sport, because you're going to lose. Everyone's going to lose. And it should hurt. And I have no problem with it hurting. It hurts me as a coach. But that's what makes me get better as a coach. And that's what makes competitors get better. Winning all the time doesn't necessarily make you get better. So this is the overall. So if you look all the way on the right, you've got Annalie. You look in the dead center, you've got Lawna. Now, there were no Class A competitors at this show, which is 5 foot and under. So the fact that there's an odd amount of competitors means there is a true center. And why that's important is because usually with the NPC, the head judges are moving the competitors around in a manner that you can kind of tell what's going on. So if 2 people are splitting center, that's generally going to be number 1 or 2. Not always the case. But when you have 5 competitors, if someone's in the dead center, it's usually the winner. So, I had a ton of confidence that, Lawna wasn't going to get moved. The girl they moved in next to her, the taller girl, great shape, great structure. Conditioning I didn't think was as good as Lawna's. Fullness not quite as good as Lawna's. So this was what we were waiting for. This was what Lawna flew to this show for. And I would give you more of the audio from the show, but obviously with the music and the stuff like that. But I'll let them announce it. There's Daraja and Skylar Lanier holding the IFBB Pro card. So very exciting moment for me as a coach, just to, I'm a little bit anxious at this moment, but super confident. And either way, Lawna was going to be in a good mood.
New IFBB Pro number 149, Lawna Dunbar.
Well, there you have it. We have a new pro on the team. I believe that is 7 new pros this year under my guidance, which is, just an awesome year. And we've still got a couple shows left to go. So very proud of Lawna. And this is a very cool moment when your top 6 Bikini Olympia client gets to hand your client the IFBB Pro card. I mean, these are kind of pinch me moments, guys. A couple years ago, I was going to nationals just hoping to get a girl in the top 10, and to have girls now turning pro, going to the Olympia, you know, these pictures, you know, this is why I love what I do. All right, guys, 4:30 here. Well, I got up at 4:30. It's almost 6 o'clock now, but I'm at the airport in D.C. and I got a direct flight to Fort Lauderdale. I'll land about 9:30 there and then head straight over to the Atlantic Coast Championships, where we have a couple pros, a couple amateurs. Haven't done the best job vlogging this weekend, but wanted to document a little bit of this, and obviously, like, so proud of everybody from yesterday. You know, all my pros were in the top 8. All my amateurs were in the top 5, including Lawna, who won the overall and IFBB Pro card. Okay, gotta go. All right, so we made it to the freaking show. Now we just gotta find everybody. Where'd they be? Where'd they be? Finally. Okay, go ahead, hit some poses. There we go. All right, now show me your new transition. Por favor. Good. Yeah. Yep. Good. Yeah. Good. So this show was pretty similar in format. They had an IFBB Pro show as well as an NPC show. So I literally got up at 4:30 in the morning, got to the airport, got on my flight. I think I landed in Fort Lauderdale around 9 a.m., got to the venue around 9:30. I actually got to watch a good bit of prejudging, but Tim Gardner typically does not let you film. I didn't realize that because I was one of the sponsors and I had a VIP, I was allowed to film. So I didn't catch a lot of the stuff except the finals, because I didn't know I was allowed to film until I sat down. This is a 51-year-old Michelle Abramson. I mean, come on, dude. She just turned pro this year, and this was her second pro show of the year. This is Myra Colcord, who I started coaching maybe a month before this show, and she had placed top 5 at the Hurricane. So we were gunning for a top placing. She's in the Bikini Over 40 Masters division, but I mean, just flawless as far as the bikini division is concerned. She's got everything. And this is Laura Tarbell, who just stunning to look at. When you see Laura Tarbell walk out on stage, you cannot take your eyes off her. We actually came into the show a little bit too lean. Her physique is one that towards the end of prep, it starts to get a little bit striated, but when we don't get striated, she doesn't place as well. So we have to walk a fine line. This is the Open Pro Bikini group comparisons, I believe. So, oh no, this is actually call outs. So this was I believe the call out for maybe the top call out, and then they're calling off the top 5 or 6. So I'm just trying to get some footage of Myra there in the middle. Myra actually ended up doing very well. She was splitting center in the Pro Bikini Over 40 at prejudging. So obviously very full round glutes, great balance. I mean, she's just got a stunning physique. And I think with a little more time under my tutelage, she'll be winning these shows. You know, she's just got all the tools. Got to put a little more muscle on her. But, you know, this is Pro Bikini. It's tough. It's such a sport where, like I said, there's no weaknesses in the sport. And this is Laura Tarbell, the taller blonde here. This is the Over 40 Pro Bikini. And as you can see, you know, our feedback from the judges was everything was great, just a little too hard to be in that top call out. So she ended up just outside of the top 5. But, you know, this was the awards for the Over 40 Pro Bikini. And, you know, after splitting middle at prejudging, I wasn't sure. They only gave awards to the top 3. So Myra ended up in second place, which very happy because, you know, before she was working with me, she placed 13th at the Tampa. Started with me. We took a 4th place in about 10 days' time. And then, you know, we were able to spend a month getting ready for the show, place top 2. So we're on our way now. The season's over for her, but we're going to grow. And this was a cool moment for Tim Gardner. This Atlantic Coast show had a ton of amateurs. And so Tim actually had them all get on stage before finals. And this is when I started to get really fatigued. But luckily, one of my clients was there to save the day for me. All right, guys. Well, I'm officially getting a little bit fatigued. Had about 4 hours of sleep last night leaving D.C. to Fort Lauderdale. Just made it just in time for the prejudging for the NPC Bikini Division Pros. Congrats to Myra. Second place in the Over 40 Pro Bikini. And
Laura and Michelle also just looked fantastic, but placed outside the top 5. Yeah, just waiting around for bikini finals to start for the NPC, and I got Samantha in the Wellness as well, so I'll get some footage of that for the stage, and I'll round out this vlog with some, hopefully, a very happy ending. All right, guys, get clients that bring you energy drinks. Sweet peach tea, it's even pink. She called my drink girly. It's
Yes.
not girly.
This are like cotton candy.
Yeah, I think it's not girly. You ready?
Yes.
All right, let's go check it out.
So that was Alena Perez, and this is her backstage. And I don't really think I have to say much. I mean, she's just stunning, you know, from head to toe. We've been working together for, gosh, I want to say 4 or 5 months, started prep, and she's come to a couple of the posing seminars. So we're actually starting our season. This was our first show together. I wanted to get her in front of some good judges. And this show, obviously, like I said, had pro judges. So, you know, and this was Solma Boudreau. This is also our first show together. Solma made an amazing transformation. I think she went from like 142 down to below 120 for prep, maybe in the 115 range. And great shape, great structure. And one more off season with her, and she's going to be contending for overall titles. She actually did win her bikini novice class, and I somehow missed my wellness competitor. Like I said, I wasn't filming as much stuff just because of I thought the restrictions on filming, but I later found out, like, at this point, I was allowed to film some stuff on stage. I didn't get any of prejudging. And this was the bikini novice overall. Solma ended up not winning the overall, but winning her class was a great boost. She was top 5 in all her classes, both true novice, novice, and open. And then this is actually the bikini overall. So the prejudging in the morning, you know, Alena was definitely winning her class. She was in dead center. This is the overall. They had 8 classes in the overall. Very, very good overall. So I have a sneaking suspicion a couple of these competitors will be at nationals fighting for pro cards, as will we. And so what the head judge is doing here is, like I said, they generally move the competitors around. You know, closer to center is good. So I'm looking at, you know, out of 8 girls, we're splitting middle. So we're 1-2. So what I really want to do here, you know, is just kind of enjoy, just take it in and just make sure that, you know, I'm understanding what the judges are looking for. You know, if I'm picking Alena apart here, I'm thinking, well, you know, I think some of the other girls are actually beating her in lower body conditioning from the back. But, you know, this is bikini. It's not just about conditioning. It's not just about muscle. There is an intangible quality, and Alena has that. She has that stunning look where it's just really hard to take your eyes off her on stage. I mean, the girl, her waist I think it got right to 20 inches or just below, which is a pretty remarkable thing for anyone, let alone a girl who's, you know, 5'5", 5'6". So she's got a structure, wide shoulders, plenty of muscle. And so I was pretty confident about this. One thing that did give me a little more confidence while this went on a little bit longer was just that they never moved her. She went to the middle and stayed there. And this is them actually moving her to left of center, right? So she's still splitting center. And I think in my mind, the judges are doing that. So the judges on the left side of the table and the right side of the table can get a good look at both competitors. And I thought, you know, the girl that she's in the middle with, I think Alena's got a little better structure, a little fuller shoulders. Conditioning in the lower body is pretty similar. Alena probably has a little more fullness to her glutes and shape to her lower body. So the other girl might be a little bit leaner. But, you know, this was our first show, so I was still pretty confident. I mean, as far as bikini competitors go, there's not a lot of girls that can stand on an NPC stage next to Alena and not get beat. She's just, you know, she's got everything you want from a bikini competitor. So it was fun to watch this overall, and the judges took it very, very seriously. I actually had a good chat with the head judge after the show about what was going on, and, you know, he gave me some really good insight and basically just said, hey, you got to bring her in a little bit leaner for nationals. So we're going to do that. And again, they're announcing the overall, so I'm gonna let you guys hear that. This is always a fun moment for a coach. My heart races. I get nervous.
Overall bikini champion is competitor number 131, Alena Perez. Congratulations.
So there you have it. 2 days, 2 overall bikini titles. I mean, literally just on cloud nine for my girls, my clients. You know, as a coach, these are moments that, you know, these are pinch me moments. I got to travel from 2 major cities to see all these amazing competitors, get to spend time with just awesome people. And then on top of it, you know, they're winning shows and they're eating well. Like, you know, Alena had about 250 carbs the day of the show. And I know Lawna had over 300 carbs, and this is just them filming some of the overall. And then I jumped up on stage and got a couple pictures with her. So, yeah, she's actually going to be getting on stage here in just a few more days, one more time before Nationals. But thank you guys for watching, and hope you guys are having an awesome, awesome week. And I'll talk to you soon.